Ladies, I have to be blunt with you today. After 60, there are certain tops that don't just make you look older, they make you look cheap. And I know that's a harsh word, but it's the truth. If you care about looking classy, sophisticated, and well put together, stay with me until the end, because number 9 is a mistake I see all the time, and number 10 is something even I was guilty of once. Before we start, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's the one item of clothing you've stopped wearing as you've gotten older? I'd love to know your thoughts. 1. Graphic tees with silly sayings. Oh, ladies, let's start with one of the biggest culprits. These graphic tees with childish, cheeky sayings might seem harmless, even playful. You know the ones I'm talking about. Wine o'clock, I'm not old, I'm vintage, I speak fluent sarcasm. At first glance, they might seem like they're showing off a fun side of your personality, but let me tell you something. After 60, these tops aren't charming. They're cheapening your entire look. When people see a woman our age wearing shirts like this, they don't think, oh, how witty. They think, why is she trying to dress like a college girl from 2006? These tops tend to age you because they undermine the sophistication you've earned through decades of life experience. They scream novelty store, not timeless elegance. If you want to express humor or personality, you can do it through clever accessories, tasteful color choices, and of course through your words and actions, not through a slogan slapped across your chest in glitter paint. Aim for plain, well-fitted tees and solid colors or understated patterns. That's how a woman over 60 says, I know who I am, and I don't need a t-shirt to tell you. 2. Cold shoulder tops. Yes, still. I know. Some of you won't like this. Cold shoulder tops were all the rage about 10 years ago. Someone, somewhere, decided to market them as flattering for older women. And many of us believed it. We bought them in every color, wore them to lunch with the girls, to church functions, even to family gatherings. But ladies, it's time to retire them. They've had their day. The problem with these tops is they're now a cliché. They scream, trying to look youthful, but they do the opposite. They draw attention to our upper arms, shoulders, and posture, areas that most of us would prefer to flatter in more subtle ways. Worse still, they often pair these cutouts with cheap fabrics, bright colors, or strange patterns. The result? You end up looking frumpy and desperate for attention. Instead, go for classic blouses with a proper sleeve. Whether it's a soft silk or a crisp cotton, a well-structured sleeve brings elegance, not awkwardness. Trust me, showing off a little shoulder isn't worth sacrificing sophistication. 3. Ill-fitting stretchy tunics. Oh, dear, where do I even begin with these? I know why we buy them. They're comfortable. They promise to hide everything we don't want to show, the tummy, the hips, the arms. They come in loud patterns with words like easy fit, one size fits most, and flattering for all shapes. But here's the truth no one tells you. These tunics rarely flatter anyone after 60. Instead of hiding flaws, they often create new ones. Shapeless, stretchy tunics make you look heavier and sloppier than you actually are. They drown your figure, hang awkwardly from the shoulders, and billow in all the wrong places. And don't even get me started on the fabrics, clingy polyesters with garish prints that look like they came from the clearance bin. What should you wear instead? Structured, yet forgiving blouses in quality fabrics. Look for soft tailoring, gentle darts, seams that create shape without constriction. These tops will skim over your figure with grace and polish. They'll say, I'm confident in my skin, without shouting it. 4. Animal print overload. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying you need to banish animal print entirely. A subtle touch of leopard or snake can absolutely add a bit of sass to an otherwise neutral outfit. The problem is when it's overdone. And believe me, I've seen it overdone. Full-on zebra stripes, giant leopard spots, tiger patterns in neon colors, especially when they're on cheap, stretchy tops. They look garish. They look loud. And yes, they look cheap. Animal prints work best in small doses. A scarf, a trim, a tasteful accessory. When your entire torso is wrapped in faux safari, you're sending the wrong message. The goal isn't to look like you're still prowling for attention. The goal is quiet confidence, subtle sophistication. A well-placed hint of animal print can say, I'm still playful, but I'm also classy. A full-on animal print blouse says, I'm wearing the clearance rack from 2012. 5. Sequins and glitter tops for daytime. Now, don't misunderstand me. I love a little sparkle, but there's a time and a place for it. And the grocery store at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, isn't it? Sequin tops, glittery fabrics. Anything overly shiny during daylight hours sends the wrong message after 60. Sequins can easily cross from festive to flashy, from stylish to showy. And unless you're at a gala, a wedding, or a New Year's Eve party, they're not doing you any favors. In daylight, under harsh lighting, these materials highlight every lump and bump. Worse, they give off the impression that you're trying too hard to be noticed. Elegance after 60 is about understatement. It's about quiet luxury. Soft, matte fabrics in muted or jewel tones. These flatter your complexion and give you a glow without competing for attention. Save the sequins for special occasions. In everyday life, they just cheapen your look. 6. Peasant blouses with excessive embroidery. Oh, I know these tops are comfortable. And once upon a time, they had a little charm to them. A soft flowing peasant blouse with a touch of embroidery can seem romantic, even artistic, but there's a very fine line between looking boho chic and looking like you just stepped off a tourist bus in the 1970s. The problem is, too many of these blouses are overdone. Too much embroidery, too many tassels, loud colors, cheap fabrics, and those odd shapes that balloon around the hips. Instead of making you look worldly or interesting, they tend to make you look outdated, a bit frumpy, and unfortunately, a bit cheap. If you love texture and detail, you don't have to give it up. Instead of going overboard with busy embroidery, look for refined details, a subtle lace trim, a delicate pattern, a hint of texture in a neutral tone. You'll still capture that soft feminine vibe without looking like you've been wearing the same blouse since Woodstock. 7. Tops with cutouts in strange places. Let's talk about these peekaboo tops. I've seen them everywhere lately. Keyhole necklines, little slashes across the shoulders, strange cutouts just above the bust line, or even at the waist. I suppose the intention behind them is to add flair or modern edge, but in reality, these designs rarely flatter older women. In fact, they often look awkward, forced, and dare I say, a bit desperate. After 60, subtlety is your best friend. Showing a little skin can be tasteful, of course, but showing random patches of it through oddly placed holes, that doesn't say style. That says confusion. It interrupts the flow of your outfit and draws attention to places you probably don't want highlighted. Instead, go for classic necklines, boat necks, V-necks, soft drapes. They flatter the collarbone and neckline beautifully without any gimmicks. Save the cutouts for someone who still thinks fashion is about shock value. You, my dear, know better. 8. Too tight tops. This is a hard one because I know how tempting it is. You might still have a lovely figure and you want to show it off, and good for you. But there's a difference between flattering and suffocating. Tops that cling too tightly to the bust, stomach, or arms often highlight things we'd rather not advertise. Posture changes, bra lines, little rolls here and there, which, by the way, are completely normal. And these tight tops rarely look expensive. They often look cheap because they pull, wrinkle, and stretch across the body in a way that cheapens the fabric and the overall look. Instead, embrace fit, not tightness. Look for tops that glide over your silhouette rather than clinging to it like cling wrap on leftovers. Proper tailoring flatters your shape while maintaining your dignity. Confidence doesn't come from squeezing yourself into something 2 sizes too small. It comes from wearing something that fits you properly, comfortably, and beautifully. 9. Loud, cartoonish patterns. Bright swirls, giant daisies, neon polka dots, rainbow stripes. You've seen these prints. Some of you might even have them hanging in your wardrobe right now. They scream fun. They scream quirky, but they also scream cheap, loud, and dated. Patterns like these overwhelm a mature woman's beauty. They drown out your natural elegance and instead say, "I'm trying too hard to look young and fun." And the truth is, you don't need to try at all. After 60, your beauty speaks for itself. You don't need a cartoon on your chest to be interesting. Instead, opt for subtle prints. Soft florals in muted tones, delicate geometrics, maybe a gentle stripe or polka dot in classic colors. These patterns enhance your natural glow. They say sophistication, not circus tent. Your outfit should support you being the center of attention, not steal the spotlight. 10. Fake designer logos. This is perhaps the harshest truth on this list, but it needs to be said. Those fake Chanel tops, the knockoff Gucci tees, the shirts splattered with fake Louis Vuitton patterns, everyone can spot them a mile away. And nothing cheapens your look faster. Wearing fake designer logos doesn't say glamorous. It says trying to look rich and failing. It undermines your style and sends the wrong message about your self-worth. After 60, you should be proud of the life you've built. You don't need counterfeit status symbols to prove your value to anyone. True style whispers. It doesn't scream brand names. It's about quality fabrics, good fit, timeless colors. A plain, well-made top in a flattering cut will make you look 1,000 times more elegant than any counterfeit designer logo ever will. Remember, class isn't bought. It's lived,